this point, I'm going to take a break from working on the armor, so I almost have it done. I'm going to go to work on a second custom saber for Therion. This one got its start about a year ago in PVC form. Now, the plan is to basically recreate, with a few adjustments of course, this saber, which has no working electronics and isn't really set up to be. I mean, I could have swapped it, put in an LED, but no sound or anything. The idea here, though, is to use this as the basis, using the same body and choke found on the Catalyst, and an emitter I specifically chose for this process, as well as a Ultra Saber's Warglaive pommel, which is still on the way, and sleeve material that I picked up from Custom Saber Shop, along with an LED I've got spare, to create, for lack of a better term, a working version of this. As you can see here, I've got the beginnings of a template with the areas marked out. This is where the cutouts for the handle will be. The cutout for the switch, kind of like you would find on a consoler. I will probably extend these cuts up into this section, which actually goes over the choke. And this section will probably get detached to form a sleeve around the emitter. We'll see how it all goes. All right. I wound up needing to do a second template because the original was actually not big enough to go all the way around the sleeve material. I'd actually measured this based off the hilt it's going around instead of the sleeve material. At this point, I have cut it to length. I have the template taped in place, and I will be going through and making the necessary cuts. For the large areas, I may perforate it, if you will, with a drill, and then go that route instead of trying to just loose cut it all the way through. But we'll play that part by ear as things go. All right, at this point, you can see the basic perforation. Let me flip this over right side up. The basic perforations are done. Now, I admit I'm not very close to the lines on some of these, but that's to give me room, especially on these large areas, to clean up the holes and still be within the lines. Now, this is going to wind up channeled out to allow for the switch, but this line here is going to actually become a separator. Everything from here forward is actually going to get removed to be part of the emitter. But that's where we're sitting at the moment. All right, not much to show here, but as you can see, using the cutoff wheel on my Dremel and good old-fashioned hobby saw, I've managed to get the emitter end cut to shape. What you see here is actually the blade holder on the hilt sticking through, for kind of how it's going to look when all is said and done. All right, at this point, At this point, I've masked off the areas for the grip and gone in with some spray paint and painted off the entire grip section. What I'm going to do now that the blue here is dry is go in and sand off the raised sections so I can hit them with the aluminum black. And with that, the grip section's basically done. As you can see, I've put the aluminum black on the raised sections. Not too worried about these sections here that are still glossy because they're going to be covered by the sleeve. Slowly but surely, this is coming along. Alright, at this point, major machining is basically done. I've got the holes drilled for the set screw and to hold the emitter shroud over the choke and emitter section. Once I get that separated, I can go ahead and finish clearing out the channel that'll go around the switch. Got the openings cleaned out, as well as the hole for the CoverTech wheel. At this point, I still need to engrave the detail in the insets. As you can see through the light, the insets are engraved in. We are getting very, very close here. Alright, what we have here is the final mock-up before the installation of the electronics of Therion's Fire, along with its inspiration, my original PVC hilt. As you can see, I've tried to duplicate some of the detail. I didn't bother trying to do these grooves because they kind of run into the pommel. I was tempted to cut a groove in the pommel, but changed my mind on that. There will be an added CoverTech wheel on the back. But at this point, Therion's Fire is ready for electronics. Alright, what we have here is a mess of electrical. All the connections are soldered together, except for the joints on the switch, because of course the switch has to be inserted through the switch hole on the hilt. But we have an operational soundboard. Next up will be putting this all into the hilt. Alright, what we got now, after installing all the electronics and everything else, is the completed Therion's Fire. You can see we've got the blue detail in the hilt inserts, or grip inserts, I guess I should say. The non-illuminated AV switch in play. Ultra Saber's Warglaive pommel. 32-inch Ultra Edge heavy grade blade. And, more importantly, fully functional. Currently running the episode 6 font that comes with the hilt, or sorry, that comes with the Obsidian soundboard. It's actually got a decent balance. It's actually probably got, it's actually got a decent grip too. Although you wind up with your finger over the switch if you go two-handed, but it's balanced for one-handed. Now, along with the completion of this one, I have another mod that I've made to Therion's Wrath. As you can see, the emitter and the pommel no longer match. I picked up the emitter over at the Custom Saber Shop because looking at that and looking through the Old Republic, I liked the look of that emitter for this saber better than having the emitter and pommel match up. It's still running in red with the custom font based off Black Star. I'll put some stills at the end of this, and I'll thank you all for watching.